Hello, welcome to Alchemy YouTube channel. It is a second part of a series called Tamed a Blackened Slave Man. Let's begin. She said it seems that the main character of the day will be Kassadin. He said for a moment he thought he saw an angel. Then they both left for the banquet. He sit aside of Orion. She said the other seat is empty, Kassadin, and you can let go of my hand now. Kassadin said he want to sit like this. My sister's scent is very pleasant. I hope time stops here. If others in the Imperial Palace look at you, I will feel extremely uncomfortable. She asked, why do you keep doing this, little brother? She really wondered why he continued to lie to her. But she hopes that one day he will tell her. Would that be too much to ask? He asked Orion, you don't believe me? She said that when he lie, one corner of his mouth lifts slightly, and your right eyelash trembles gently. You are really bad at lying. He asked, what kind of person are you, my sister? Next they arrived at the Imperial Palace. It is a place where Orion is used to frequent when she was little. Because of their healing abilities, whenever there is need they arrange the path in that way, so that they can quickly come to the aid of the Imperial family when necessary. And because of that there was a strange and mistaken belief that she was a candidate to marry the Crown Prince. When they are coming down from the chariot, Kassadin was looking at her. She asked him if he have something to say, or is it just that my sister looks very beautiful? You are complimenting a lot today, but you are beautiful too. He said that he should be grateful if she said he was wonderful. After some time at the entrance she shows invitation card to the Imperial Guard. He asked, who is accompanying you? Everyone is looking at Kassadin, and wondering who is this gentleman, and he is really handsome. She replied he is her younger brother Kassadin. The guard confirmed their invitation card. They both entered into the Imperial Palace, the glass room. It still remains same as Orion remembers it. And last time Damien came late for the dinner, there is no difference from the past. She was thinking that the only change here from the past is, this time she came with Kassadin. Next the beautiful lady approached Orion, and said, Madam Circia. It's been a long time. Orion said she is happy to see her again. That lady said, it's an honor for me that you remember me. Orion said of course she remembers her. Her name is Evelyn Kristen. She is the daughter of Count Kristen, who earned his fortune through diamond mining. And because of them hundreds of slaves died in the mines. Because Orion possessed jewels that they don't have. The lady asked who is the gentleman next to her. Kassadin introduced himself to them, and said, pleased to meet you, my name is Kassadin. She asked with a blushy face, how can your voice be so beautiful? Orion said that he is her younger brother. After hearing that he is her younger brother, all of them approached like a pack of dogs chasing their prey. They thought that she was the only daughter of Count Circia. They asked then what is the reason for not revealing himself. Is it because the young lady wanted to monopolize her handsome younger brother? Orion was thinking that she don't want to waste her mental energy on such a conversation. The lady asked, so how can someone as beautiful as him hide? They asked Kassadin if he have a girlfriend. All of them are attracted toward him. He replied that he don't have any girlfriend. But he have someone in his heart. All of them are shockingly watching him. One of the girl asks, who might that be? He replied with a bright smile that, on the first day when they met, she was wearing a beautiful light blue dress with bare shoulders. And she was wearing a necklace of blue sapphires around her neck. She was looking so beautiful that avoiding her gaze made him feel guilty. That's why he couldn't take his eyes off her. There is no doubt that his heart belongs entirely to her. Someone from the crowd asked what is her name. But before he tells the name of that girl, the Crown Prince entered into the hall. Everyone is greeting the Crown Prince. His name is Leon de Craspel. He thanked everyone for attending the ceremony despite their busy schedules. Orion was thinking that originally, Kassadin was supposed to stand behind the Crown Prince as his closest aides. But for her, it was the best choice to protect her family. Crown Prince said today, let's forget about hard work and have fun. Everyone congratulated Crown Prince and said they hope His Highness's future will be filled with glory. But next Orion was looking at Cassidon, and he was smiling very weirdly. She was thinking why he is smiling like that. Suddenly Crown Prince drops his glass of wine on the ground and started coughing and fall on the ground. The Imperial Guard asking who did this and shouting it's poison, someone must have poisoned his drink. Some women are also fainted after seeing that scene. Erin was shockingly thinking that in her previous life, there was no fall of the prince. Originally the banquet lasted until the late at night, and Damien was also late. The only difference from that time was that this time Cassidon was with her, and he was smiling after Crown Prince fell on the ground. She is thinking that it was Cassidon who did that, but why did Cassidon do that? Because Cassidon, who is in her previous life favored the Crown Prince over everyone else. She was thinking about her previous conversation with the sword shopkeeper. He told her that this sword may be used by Crown Prince of the extinct Kingdom of Highland. The Kingdom of Highland, which has been completely wiped out of the map. If he was the prince of that kingdom, then that explains his action. But in her previous life memories, he was closer to the prince for at least 3 years. If her predictions are correct, then he wants revenge. She asked him that it was you, the Crown Prince of the Kingdom of Highland. After hearing all of this, Cassidon looked at her with a very serious look. He asked her, "What are you trying to say?" The Imperial Guards announced that the attendees here cannot leave until the interrogation is over. The Emperor issued a decree indicating that possibility of a comet in the banquet hall, and anyone who exhibits suspicious behavior or attempts to leave is immediately considered guilty. The pupil from the crowd asked, "Are you saying one of us is guilty? How dare someone commit such an act against the Emperor's heir? I swear on my rank and title that I am not guilty." But the guard said, "If an interrogation is conducted, the truth will be revealed. If you are not guilty, then why are you fearing? But they keep saying it's not me, it's not me." On the other hand, Cassidon was trembling not from fear, but from anger towards Orion. He was looking like a beast at that time. She comforted him and said, "It's all right, Cassidon. But don't do something like this again in the future." She is saying this for his own good, and said that she will protect him from any danger. But suddenly a door opens, and an Imperial Guard asked Lady Circia, "His Majesty is requesting your presence." Everyone in the crowd started gossiping about it, and said it seems that the rumors about the Crown Prince will spread once again. Or Mary Lady Circia was right. Cassidon was thinking why they asked for Orion presence. She entered into the room and said greetings to the son of the Empire. The Empire rushed toward Miss Circia and asked, "Please hurry and treat my son." She replied, "Yes, I understand, Your Majesty." Next, she removed her gloves and started treating him, and said he looks pale. It seems that the poison has indeed spread throughout his body. The poison had no smell, no taste. She started focusing on his veins, and sensed that the poison has attached itself to the bloodstream throughout the body. And it is a highly toxic, fast-acting, colorless and odorless poison. And then she realized that it is a poisonous plant that only grows in the northern regions. And it was written on the book stolen by Cassidon, which contains a recipe that combines pro powder, aiming to neutralize the whole order of the toxins. If she had been a little late, his condition would have ended in bed for the rest of his life. And it is a deadly poison. And she was thinking that Cassidon was truly mad. Next, she opened the button off the Crown Prince's clothes and started treating him. After some time, she said, "Everything is fine, Your Majesty." She had completely removed the traces of the poison. He thanked her and said, "Thanks to your power, the poison has been eliminated. I will especially grateful to you, and I am willing to fulfill any request you may have with just a word." She declined that offer and said, "There is no need. Your Majesty, I have done what I should have done." The Emperor was thinking, who can do this on the birthday event? But even if he don't know who they are, they must be clearly insane and ready to die. Orion was thinking that she was fortunate to be the one treating him, and said that she also learned about the components of the poison that spread in his body, Your Majesty. And thinking that the Emperor's trust in her will work on her favor, and she have to use that trust to save Cassidon. The Emperor asked what was it? She said she apologized for informing him, but it was a hemlock plant, a poisonous plant that only grows in the northern regions. She said it because she knows that the younger brother of the Emperor, who was the ruler of the northern regions, he left his only son Damien behind when he departed this world. He asked, "Did you just mention the northern region?" She said yes, and hemlock is highly toxic and its smell can be easily detected. However, when mixed with pearl powder, the smell is completely eliminated. After saying this, she was thinking that a little doubt is enough. Although Damien's father was not interested in the throne, he was different. She was thinking that although the crown prince allowed Damien to reach this extent, he never looked at him in the face. And Damien is more qualified than anyone else to represent a threat to the throne. And ever since the Majesty had become the Emperor, he loved his son dearly, so, even if he escaped the suspicion of poisoning, it will be difficult to avoid what happened to the crown prince. Next, Orion said that she had finished her work, so she will take her leave. The Emperor said that he would like to make a request for the young lady. She said yes, it's an honor for her. He said, "Please stay until my son fully recovers." And he said that it is impossible to keep the nobles in the hole for a longer period. She was thinking with a relaxed face that Cassidon is no longer a suspect, and said, "I will do what His Majesty deems appropriate." He left his son in her care, and said thank you very much for the help. After all of this, she was thinking that His Majesty don't trust her too much, and she don't think that they really see her as a candidate for the Crown Prince. Then she looked at Crown Prince, and thought that he still hasn't woken up. And what is Cassidon doing now? She hoped that no other incident occurs. Next she started closing the button off the Crown Prince's shirt with a blushy face. And then he woke up, and asked, "Who are you? What are you doing here? And how dare you touch my body?" She replied that she is Lady Orion Circia, and she was the one who healed him from the poison that spreaded in his body. If it took them longer, it would have been a big problem. He said, "Treatment?" She said yes. "Didn't you hear from His Majesty?" He said yes, he remembered hearing something like this before, that the Sarika family was the only family that possessed healing abilities in the Empire. And the best healer of all was their son, the Count. And you must be his daughter. So, can you demonstrate this great skill to me? She replied, "That would not be possible. Because you have already been healed, and there is no one else here in need of healing." So, she asked to leave, but suddenly Crown Prince started coughing and felt sick. She immediately started to treat him again and said, "It seems that the poison has been completely eliminated. There is nothing wrong. Your heart is also stable. You are fine," he said. "It seems you truly are a healer." She was thinking that she know he's someone superior to her. "But do you like to test others, because you were raised in the imperial family?" She said she's done with her work, so she is leaving. But he grabbed her hand and stopped her, and said that he's a little worried, "So can you stay with me a little longer?" She said she can contact someone else. And then after hearing this, he said unbelievable, because till now other people feel excited to talk to him, but she is different than other. Instead, she seemed annoyed by it. She was thinking that in her previous life, she never spoke to him, so she didn't know that he had this kind of personality. And then she said that not everyone is the same. She wants to leave the room quickly, so she have to come up with an excuse. She said that maybe the other girls are eager to talk to you, but not all the ladies you will meet in the future will have these aspirations. He asked, "Why do you think so?" She replied, "That's because people have different inclinations." He said that he want to ask her a question. "What do you think of me?" He came closer to her. She said that she believed His Highness is the Crown Prince. After hearing this, he started laughing. He said your name was Orion, right? So if you need a healer, I have to rely on your resistance. She said yes. He said now you can leave and see you soon, Lady Orion. She was thinking that can't she just hit him? What does he mean by see you soon? She hoped that he doesn't find her again. After that, she entered into the hallway and asked one of the maid, "What happened to the guest?" She replied, "His Majesty dismissed the other guest." After hearing that, she is in relief. And thinking that now Cassidy will be safe. She was searching for him everywhere. And thinking he's late. But suddenly she saw he was talking to someone else. Then she goes toward him and asks, "Have you waited so long?" He replied, "Not at all." She was thinking that this pretty face of my little brother, who would dare to get him into trouble, and even thought that he was the one who caused all of the commotion. Then she looked toward the person to whom Cassidy is talking. And he's none other than Damien. She knows that sound very well. She was trembling from fear and anger, and remembered her past life in a second. After that, Damien introduced himself to her, and said, "My name is Damien Syndix." But Orion was feeling uncomfortable after seeing him. She's trying to calm herself down, and thinking that they have finally faced each other, and she is trained for this moment. Damien asked her that your skin looks pale, are you okay? She said yes and thanked him for his concern. She introduced herself to him that, "I am Mrs. Arnie Sarika." He replied he will remember that. She asked him, "What were you talking about with my brother?" He said, "So that person is your little brother?" She said yes, and thinking about Damien thoughts that they don't look like siblings at all. He said he was late for the party, but it seems it has been cancelled. He was considering returning, when he met her brother and heard what happened. He heard that someone messed with the prince's drink. He said that this situation is hard to believe because he did not expect something unfortunate like this to happen on his birthday. But Orion was sure that he's enjoying this secretly, because he's aiming for the throne. That's why he don't care about the person involved. Instead, she replied that she also believed that it's very unfortunate to something like this happened on Prince's birthday. "Your Grace, the Duke?" He asked her, "How did you know that I am a Duke?" She replied, "Who doesn't know the Duke?" She said the Duke's story caused an uproar just by reading the newspapers. "And did you win the fencing championship again?" He said he was just lucky. Then she remembers in her past memories. Damien was no match for Cassidy. Even though it was Cassidy's first participation in the fencing championship. And his brave appearance is still vivid in her memory, as if it were yesterday. Currently, Damien was behaving very humble and he asked her that. "Why are you still at the palace until now?" "Because everyone has left." She was about to reply this question, but suddenly Royal Palace Guard arrested Damien. He was asking, "What the hell are you doing?" They replied that you must come with us. And it is an order from the Emperor. She was acting worriedly in front of him, but from inside she was very happy. Then after, when the Imperial Guards took Damien into the custody, she took a sudden that she know there is a lot he want to say. But time is running out, so let's return to the palace first. In the chariot she asked him why did he do that. "Don't tell me anything, and I am not trying to blame you." But then she put her hand on his cheek. And thinking that currently Cassidy's face shows a lot of emotion and feeling and he could not hide his trembling gaze. And if today's events are revealed, it would not only be Cassidy whose life at stake, but their entire family will be completely lost. So she said to him that whether you were the crown prince of the kingdom of Erin in the past, or even a servant, and if there is something you want to protect, so protect your life first. After hearing all of this, Cassidy was very angry and he grabbed her hand. He said that if I kill you, no one will know my identity here. So with your delicate lips, tell me your last words about how you knew all of this. She said that you were lying to yourself. He said you are aware of your situation now, but you are still saying that. She said, "You are foolish, Cassidon. You are unaware even of who your true enemy is, but you tried to deceive and threaten the wrong person. Because 8 years ago, the person who led the world to invade Iran was Damien's biological father. And the reason behind all of the destruction is an unknown prophecy by the great prophet of the empire." She also learned something new while gathering information about Damien. That Cassidon has no allies. He said, "Are you trying to deceive me now?" She said, "Listen to what you are saying. You know that everything I've said and say is a lie. But all the moments with you were real. And now you think my words are just lies." He asked her that if she regret bringing him here even for a moment. She said she never regretted it because she bought him, and now he is her brother. This time, she don't intend to give him the answer he want. Then she hugged him and said, "Regardless of what others say, and you are my dear family. And you will be fine in future, so just don't worry and relax." Then with the gentle and soothing voice, Cassidon calms down. He is under her influence. She was thinking that this is amusing that she's using him. After some time they reached to their palace. And she asked Sasha to fetch her some bathing water. And also bring her a book about the kingdom of Aaron. Because she want to investigate and gather information or rumors. So just find me all the information about the kingdom of Aaron. Sasha said okay. Orion asked her if she wanted more jewelry. She said she don't want any new jewelry because she gave her a whole jewelry box last time. And then she left after saying that she will go get the bath water now. She looked everywhere if anyone is looking at her. And then she knocked into Cassidon's room. He opened the door and then she asked, "Why don't we talk a little before sleep?" She entered into her room and both of them are drinking tea. She was saying that the tea leaves that seem to resist, at some point it will give up and melt. And it would not end here. No matter how hard you get. One day it will all end for sure. He was thinking that he is with someone who can dump him at any moment. What a contradiction. She was thinking that Damien has been arrested in the past, but she did not speak. She wanted him to grant all of her desires. But now she will use Cassidon until she reach her goal. She said to him to don't worry about anything. Because even if you lie as usual, it's okay. And whatever your past, it's your past. And don't forget that you are my family. So use me anytime, and if there is anything you want me to do, I will do it even if it's getting blood on my hands. I will fulfill your wish. Cassidon was very shocked and angry after hearing all of this. He asked her, "What is she thinking about? And do you know what you are talking about yourself? You should better curse me than say that. Tell me that I am just an ungrateful slave who does not appreciate the blessing that was given to him. So why did not you scold me? And there is no guarantee that I would not do this again." She said, "If we wanted to hurt me, you could have done that before." She was thinking about the 1 month time she spent it with him. And thinking about a human being who have become a beast. It is normal for him to give up easily. She said what she did is no different than what he did. She brought him and accepted him. And if someone is wrong, it's me. Instead of tending to his wounds, she opened them up more. She apologized to him. After hearing that, Cassidon was going to his bedroom. After entering into his room, he removed his shirt. And thinking about Orion, that this woman has a terrible expression at times. And it was not a sad expression, as if she was thinking deeply. It was a face without a smile. She is the one who made him look like a wonderful slave. But no one cares about the bleeding wound inside him. And she also only cares about her strong looks. He was saying to himself that he vehemently concealed his former identity, so he could not bear to live with that shame. But what is she's hesitating about? He remembered the hug in the chariot with Orion. And now he feels like his mind is a mess. His feelings are so confused it makes his head hurt. So he decided to check on her. Because he feels like he is admitting defeat like that. He wear his robe. And leaving for Orion's room. He is saying a name Nona instead of Orion. He said he wanted to know more about her. And he wanted to hear her voice. He feels like his body was burning when he heard her voice. She asked him if he is sick. But he grabbed her hand and said he feels the increase in heat. And his body react like this to only her. He grabbed her into his arms. And said that the fever seems to be getting worse. He wondered what's making his body burn up like this, dear sister. He complimented her that she is very beautiful. And she amazed him every time he see her. He is moving her hand on his chest. And saying that your hand is soft on my skin. But then she said that these are wounds from swords and axes. And these cards would not be so deep if they were not neglected for long periods of time. She thought it was because he was a gladiator, but these scars were made on purpose. Because they are not from fighting in the arena. She asked him if he was being tortured in the past. He said yes. She asked him to sit for a moment, then she closed his eyes. And started to use her healing magic. And after some time, she said she's done. And then he looked at his body. However, there is not a single scar left on his body. Cassidy was shocked after seeing all of this. She asked him if he is surprised. She said that she just used the same ointment she mentioned last time. And if she had known it was this bad, she would have treated all your wounds the first time we met. She asked him that it must have hurt a lot. But you could not say anything. And it must have been difficult for him, was not it? My dear brother. So don't worry about that anymore and get a good night's sleep. Then she fell asleep. And he was thinking that it seems that he have fallen into the trap. Next day in the morning, Sasha was in very hurry and asking for mistress. She entered into her room and said that, my lady, you need to get ready. Orion asked her what is the reason to cause such a commotion this early in the morning. She replied that His Royal Highness is here in the mansion. She asked the Crown Prince, but for what reason he have come? That he came personally just to see her. And he is in the salon right now. He's waiting for her. Adding asked her that, did he say anything else? She replied he didn't said not a single word more. She was thinking that why he have come here. Because the accusation against Cassidy opposing the Crown Prince must not have been proven. Sasha said that maybe His Royal Highness fell in love with her at first sight? She said of course not, Sasha. That would not be the case. She was thinking that he must have come out of curiosity. And she is sure his interest will fade over time. And it looks like the Crown Prince has too much time on his hand. And she was also thinking that Cassidy's patience in enduring this for years is truly admirable. Even if it's for revenge. Next slide had reported him that the Empire is turned absolutely upside down. Because there is a rumor going around that it was Duke Damien who poisoned the Crown Prince. And now he is held in the Imperial prison. But she was wondering that a duke could not lack anything which make him do this. And everyone is saying that he might be released soon since there is not enough evidence to prove it. Orion was thinking that about no clear evidence. Because they cannot rely on yesterday's situation alone. Even if Damien were the real culprit, he would still find a way to get out of it. But right now he is not the culprit, and once he's out of prison, he will surely look for the real culprit. And if he finds out the truth, he will use it as an excuse to convince Cassidy to join him. So she was thinking that in this meantime, she need to gather more evidence about Damien. So she was thinking about meeting the Crown Prince in a very colorful way. Sasha asked her, "What would you like to wear, my lady?" She replied it needs to be as elegant as possible. So please bring me something colorful. Cassidy was waiting outside of her room. And then she also came outside after wearing a red and white dress. He asked her, "Where are you going in such a hurry?" She replied that there is a guest in the salon. He asked her if he can join her. She said that might be a bit difficult because you poisoned him the last time you saw him. He sarcastically asked her that he must be a pretty important guest, right? She was thinking that now Cassidy is not hesitating to reveal its true nature. But she's very happy. After all of this and thinking that why does this fact make her so happy? After some time, she entered into the salon. The crown prince is waiting for her. He said that he almost died from boredom while waiting. She apologized to the royal highness for the delay, and said greetings to the little son of the empire. He said that she don't have to be so formal, because it's not like it's the first time they have met each other anyway. She was thinking that why is he acting like they are very close? She only wants that the crown prince to meet Damien, so she can't lose her composure now. He said that you must be wondering why I came here this morning. I will speak plainly with you. The crown prince asked Orion that what do you think about becoming the crown princess? She was shocked after hearing this and said what kind of nonsense is this? He is explaining her that His Majesty has already given his permission, so there is no need to worry about anything. And he is very grateful that you saved my life. On a different subject, is not there a false rumor that your family amassed their wealth through mining? Up until now the imperial family has provided protection to the Circaeus. But we can't continue doing that with so many rumors circulating, when you have no actual ties to the throne. And His Majesty was also thinking for some time to make you my wife. Orion said that this is all so sudden. I am quite happy with the life I have now. He asked her in a very doubtful voice. Are you telling me that you want to give up the chance to become the highest-ranked noble woman in the entire empire? She said I appreciate your concern for me, but I must decline this offer. With a smile, Crown Prince said that you are not at all what I expected about you. You are an interesting person, my lady. During their conversation someone entered into the room. Orion was thinking who would be so rude as to enter without knocking? It was none other than Cassidon. He apologized for the interruption. But to Orion, he does not seem sorry at all. He dropped the cookies plate on the table forcefully. He said while looking at the Crown Prince, I thought you might be hungry so I prepared some snacks. Orion was in panic situation and thinking about Sasha. Where are you? Crown Prince said excellent work, you may leave now. But Cassidon ignored him. He again said that you may go. But he is not listening at all. After some time of silence, Orion introduced him by saying this is my younger brother Cassidon, so please forgive his rudeness. Crown Prince said you two don't look alike at all, because one of you has blonde hair and the other has silver hair. Even your eye colors are completely different, you don't appear to share the same blood. Orion said although we may not share the same bloodline, but he is still my precious brother. Crown Prince said about Cassidon that not only does he have a good temperament, but he's way much handsome on top of that. So I can understand with a younger brother like this, no wonder your standards are so high. Orion said you are right, he is attractive in many ways. After hearing this from Aaron, Crown Prince coughed the food he was eating. He laughed, and said it should be nice if your handsome brother left now. We were discussing something very important. Cassidon asked, am I not allowed to hear what was said? With a very comfort state, Crown Prince said if you want to know I will tell you. He told him that he planned on making his sister the Crown Princess in the near future. Orion was in panic situation after the Crown Prince told Cassidon what he was talking about. On the other hand, Cassidon became very serious after hearing this. She said I clearly refused your proposal earlier. The Crown Prince replied to officially decline the offer, you must come to the Imperial Palace. So meet me tomorrow at noon in front of the palace fountain, and also come alone. After some time, the Crown Prince leave the palace. Cassidon asked to Orion that, is what he said earlier the truth? She replied yes, he did not lie. He asked her if she's planning to go to the Imperial Palace tomorrow. But she had no choice, so she have to go. Cassidon recommended her to don't go. She asked why are you saying this? He said it might be a trap. And I feel especially uneasy with his last request. It's suspicious for him to ask you to come alone. And he don't think anything good can come out of this. She asked him, can you predict the future? He told her that the eyes give away a lot about a person, as does the rest of their face. And just looking at him, it's clear that he is not a good person. Orion was thinking that. Look at what he's saying now, questioning the morals of the Crown Prince. She said that's too bad. I don't like the Crown Prince when I first met him either. Cassidy said it seems that you have the same opinion as me. They both are laughing together while talking or criticizing about Crown Prince. She was thinking that it's very entertaining to listen to someone criticize the Crown Prince. Besides, he's not just an ordinary brother. Cassidy asked her what was your first impression of me? She said I thought you seemed a lot like me. He asked why is that? What is similar between us? She said, well, if you were to ask me why, I would say that it just felt that way. But the truth, that is what caught my attention more than his beautiful appearance. Were his eyes, which told a profound story within them. In his eyes was a sadness like the light of dawn. There was also an empty void. After that she asked him, what about you, Cassidy? What was your first impression of me? He said that's a secret. After hearing this she laughed in front of him. However, Orion knew that it is pointless to expect an answer from a liar. She asked him to tell her. That did you think I was a good person or a bad person? He said I don't recall and moved his head against her. She reminded him. By saying they say you can tell the type of person. By just looking into their eyes. She pulled his hand and asked. So what kind of person am I to you? He removed his hand from her grip. He apologized to her, and said he just don't know about that. He said don't you despise me? She asked what reason is there for me to hate you? Cassidy said to be honest rather than being a good or bad person, you are just strange. She was shocked after hearing this, and asked him if he thinks she is odd. And she was wondering if he's really telling the truth. And she is blushing very hardly because she thinks this is the first time, Cassidy said, to be honest with me. He's also blushing. She asked him why is your face so red? You said you had a fever last night, is it still not better? He said this is all your fault, and it's nothing. At the night in the library, Orion was wondering, would it still be like this if they were blood-related siblings? She was searching the book about Kingdom of Hiren. But only the chapter on the Kingdom of Hiren has been cut out from all of the books. She thinks she can learn anything from here. And knowing Cassidy, he would not have left any evidence behind when he broke into the palace. And there is another problem. How should I handle Damien when I meet him? Exposing all of Damien's evil deeds will be much harder than simply making him fall. Because he is not an idiot. So she was thinking it should be best if she act the part of the fool. She also thinks she understood how Cassidy feels. She remembered the pain of that day. The day that she died. Next day, she reached near the Empire Palace fountain. After seeing her Crown Prince said you are here. She said greetings to the little son of the Empire. As I said, I am here to reject your proposal. He asked why are you in such a hurry? Let's sit and talk. The Crown Prince is looking around. If she have brought someone with her. She said you don't have to worry. I have not brought anyone. He complimented her by saying your hair looks very beautiful. Is that because you possess healing power? In a concerning way, she said what if someone overhears you? He said if you're so concerned about it, why don't you become the successor? She said firstly you don't even like me. I will heal you, but I would not be your plaything. He asked does marriage require love? Aristocrats don't sit with random people in love whenever they want, do they? And you will have a lot of power if you are with me. All that matters is that your power will belong to the imperial family. She believed it's a good deal between them. She said I'm happy with my current life. Orion asked the permission of your highness. Because she want to ask him about an interest? How can we make another deal? He said please tell me the details about the deal. Orion said was the Duke Damien really arrested on suspicion of poisoning you? You told me he is currently in the Imperial prison. So can you create an opportunity for me to meet him? He asked do you need permission to visit the Duke? She said if you allow me, I will show you my healing power right here right now. He said did not you said to me that you could not heal someone unless they were injured? She replied when did I say my abilities were limited to humans? I can also make the garden you are stepping on right now bloom again. He stepped up his foot from the flower. And then she started healing it. The flower became as healthy as new. He said that's impossible. And came close to her, then asked, are you a saint? How does your healing power work? She said, I'm not a saint, I'm just a healer. He plucked that flower and said, if you stay here, you might get trampled by someone else's shoes. So I will put this flower in my room. She asked, why do you care if it gets stepped on again? He said, allow me to ask you a question. Why do you want to see the Duke? I thought there was no reason for you to go all the way to the prison to meet him. Orion was waiting for him to ask why. But now she was wondering, what should she say? She can say, do I believe in love at first sight? But it's strange to confess to someone in prison. She can either say, I thought I should see a beautiful face after all that distance. But it's also not good, it's strange even for her. He asked her, why don't you answer me? She was thinking, can't this person wait for me for more than 3 seconds? After finalizing her answer, she said, Your Highness, are you sure the Duke is guilty? He said, no, I don't think so. Why would someone in such a high position as the Duke do something like this? There is no solid evidence anywhere. It could be someone else with a grudge against the palace. She said the reason he fell under suspicion is his late arrival at the party. Plus the poison that only grows in the northern lands. And I was the one who discovered the poison you consumed. As I told His Majesty, it's a toxic herb that grows abundantly in the north. So I was guilty of blaming the Duke due to the lack of concrete evidence. That's why I'm worried about him, and wanted to see how he is treated in the prison. Crown Prince asked her, why do you think he's innocent? Would it be more dangerous if I told the truth? She said, what is true for one person may be false for another. After hearing this, the Crown Prince put his hand forward and said, ever since I understood your words well, I will lead you directly to the prison. She was thinking that was a brilliant success. But there is a guard watching them all of the time. She was thinking, is that a man wearing a helmet in this weather? It's very hot. And then after some time of travel, they reached to the prison. She asked, is this tower the imperial prison? Crown Prince said, I bet you have not seen it before, since the imperial record is far away from the royal palace. The Crown Prince noticed that someone is following them. He asked, you are there? Why are you following us? That's all for today's video. If you want to know what happened next, then like and subscribe. Alchemy Animation YouTube channel.